Imagine pulling your heavy dining chair back from the table and hearing that awful scraping sound. You look down to find another deep scratch carved into your hardwood floor. Most people would buy expensive floor protectors or furniture pads as a solution. But Amish families had a much simpler solution. Instead of buying another tool, they looked around their home and found a simple, practical solution using something they already had. That same way of thinking helped them solve dozens of everyday problems without wasting money or throwing things away. Today, we're uncovering 13 simple Amish home hacks you'll wish you knew sooner. Stay with me until the end, then tell me in the comments which one you've already been using and which one completely surprised you. Bay leaves inside flour. Imagine opening a fresh sack of flour only to find tiny, dark bugs crawling through your baking supplies. Finding insects inside dry food ruins a good meal, wastes money, and forces you to throw everything into the trash. The Amish believed that throwing things away was usually the last option, so they prevented pests before they ever arrived. Instead of buying chemical bug traps, they placed 3 dry bay leaves directly inside their flour bins and rice containers. Bay leaves give off a natural aromatic scent that humans barely notice, but pantry pests absolutely hate. One tiny bay leaf could protect an entire sack of flour for months. It kept their grain supply spotless using a single plant from the garden. Bread picks up broken glass. What do you do when a glass jar shatters across the kitchen floor? Heavy glass shatters into tiny invisible slivers that spread across the room. Brooms miss the fine pieces. Vacuums leave small splinters hiding in floor cracks, waiting for a bare foot. The Amish solved this with a single slice of plain white bread. Take a soft piece of bread and press it firmly across the floor where the glass broke. The soft, porous dough grabs every tiny, invisible sliver of glass and traps it deep inside. Your hands stay safe while the floor gets completely clean. That trick saved their feet, but the next secret protected a supply every family depended on for light and heat. Matches stored in rice. Matches are essential when you need to light a candle or a stove, but humid air inside drawers slowly ruins the match heads. Damp matches rub smooth and refuse to strike when you need them most. The Amish looked at an ordinary kitchen grain and saw a powerful natural defense. They kept their emergency wooden matches buried inside a small glass jar filled with raw white rice. Dry rice acts like a constant sponge for humidity, pulling damp air away from the wooden sticks instantly. The match heads stay bone dry for years no matter how humid your house gets, ensuring a bright flame on the very first strike. Butter stored in water. You press the knife into a cold stick of butter. The toast cracks. Half of it breaks off before breakfast even begins. Most people simply accept that daily frustration as part of breakfast. Today, plenty of people use the old butter and water method. What many don't realize is that Amish families have relied on it for generations, long before modern butter dishes and kitchen gadgets became common. The Amish refused to accept small daily inconveniences. They kept butter inside a shallow dish with a layer of cool salted water sealing it from the air. The water helped keep the butter soft, spreadable, and fresh on the counter, ready whenever it was needed. Changing the water every few days kept the method working with almost no effort. A simple layer of water solved a problem that millions of people still deal with every morning. That same practical thinking even changed the way they clean their floors using something most people pour straight down the drain. Save pasta water for cleaning floors. Most people drain boiling pasta water right down the sink without thinking twice. That cloudy water holds a secret cleaning power that modern homes completely ignore. The Amish rarely looked at cooking waste as trash. They asked what else it could still do for the home. They saved every drop of warm pasta water in a wash bucket. As pasta boils, it releases heavy natural starches into the liquid, turning plain water into a gentle organic cleaning agent. Mopping wood or stone floors with warm starch water binds directly to ground, in dirt, lifting tough grime fast without leaving behind any sticky chemical film or dull soapy streaks. Flour on grease spills. A sudden splash of hot grease across a burning stove creates instant panic. Hot oil spreads fast across the heat, threatening to start a dangerous fire. Reaching for a wet sponge or throwing water on hot grease causes violent, explosive splatters that spread the danger instantly. The Amish kept a simple container of flour sitting right next to the stove for this exact moment. When grease spilled, they tossed a generous handful of dry flour directly over the hot liquid. The heavy flour smothers any small flame instantly while soaking up the liquid fat in seconds. The dangerous liquid oil transforms into a dry, clumped paste that you simply sweep away with a dry rag without burning your hands. Leather scraps under furniture. Imagine dragging a heavy wooden dining chair back from the table and hearing a sharp scrape. You look down to find a deep, ugly gouge carved directly into the finish of your wood floor. Instead of buying expensive rubber floor pads, the Amish turn to their scrap pile. They cut small round discs out of worn-out leather boot soles and tacked them directly onto the bottom of heavy furniture legs. The smooth side of the thick leather glides across raw wood floors without making a single sound or leaving a scratch behind. One small piece of leftover boot leather could protect a pine floor for an entire lifetime. Potato skins clean cast iron. Cast iron pans last for decades, but scrubbing them with liquid dish soap destroys the natural non-stick coating. Steel wool scratches the metal and causes instant rust. The Amish clean dirty iron skillets using two items that most people throw into the garbage: raw potato skins and coarse salt. They sprinkled coarse salt inside the pan and used a thick potato skin to scrub the iron surface. The natural oxalic acid inside the potato juice dissolves rust and breaks down burnt food on contact. Meanwhile, the salt acts like a soft abrasive that lifts tough grime without stripping away the pan's smooth non-stick finish. A quick rinse leaves the skillet completely restored and ready for the next meal. Store onions in stockings. An entire box of freshly harvested onions can rot in a matter of weeks if left in a standard wooden bin. Trapped moisture between the outer skins creates soft spots, and once one bulb starts to decay, the rot spreads through the whole harvest like wildfire. The Amish found an unusual way to hang their garden yield using worn-out nylon stockings. They dropped an onion into the toe of the stocking, tied a simple knot right above it, and added the next onion. Hanging these long stocking chains from cellar rafters allowed cool air to circulate completely around every single bulb. The individual knots kept the onions from touching each other, ensuring that one bad bulb could never ruin the rest. When dinner called, they simply snipped off the bottom section with scissors. Dry herbs in pillowcases. Electric food dehydrators use a lot of power and dry delicate herbs too fast, stripping away their natural flavors. Leaving herbs on the counter lets dust settle all over them. The Amish harvested fresh mint, oregano, and thyme, then stuffed the leaves loosely inside a clean cotton pillowcase. They tied the top closed and hung the pillowcase in a dry hallway with a steady breeze. The breathable cotton fabric completely blocks sunlight and dust while letting fresh air dry the plants naturally. In 2 weeks, you open the pillowcase to find perfectly preserved herbs that crumble effortlessly between your fingertips. That simple cotton case protected the harvest, but clearing sticky grease off kitchen walls required a much stronger natural force. Steamed vinegar. Cooking greasy food leaves a tough, sticky film on kitchen cabinets and wood trim. Stale cooking smells sit trapped in the wood for days, and scrubbing walls with soap takes hours of grueling work. The Amish boil a simple pot of plain white vinegar on the stove. As the liquid boils, warm acidic steam rises and fills the whole kitchen. The steam softens tough grease on nearby cabinets while neutralizing harsh odors in the air. After the pot cools, you take a dry rag and wipe the grease right off the wood without any hard scrubbing. Sweep using damp tea leaves. Pushing the dry broom across a wooden floor usually kicks up a thick cloud of fine dust. That floating dust drifts through the air and settles right back down onto clean tables, counters, and windowsills minutes later. The Amish reused their morning tea leaves to solve the problem before they ever started sweeping. They scattered used, damp tea leaves across the dusty floorboards right before sweeping. As the broom pushed the leaves forward, they rolled across the wood like tiny wet sponges, grabbing fine dust particles without soaking the raw floor. You collect every bit of dirt in a single easy pass without sending dust into the air. Stove ash instead of ice melt. A sudden winter freeze turns stone walkways and porch steps into slippery hazards. Chemical ice melts from the store are expensive, corrode concrete steps over time, and burn the sensitive pads of pet paws. The Amish reach directly into their cold wood stoves and save the gray ash for icy mornings. Throwing a few shovelfuls of cold wood ash directly over frozen paths creates two immediate effects. The dark gray color absorbs sunlight to melt the ice naturally, while the coarse, gritty texture gives boots instant traction so nobody slips. It costs absolutely nothing, works immediately, and will never ruin your stone paths or harm an animal. That simple wood ash protected their steps, bringing us right back to the timeless wisdom behind every off-grid household choice. What is truly remarkable isn't that these ideas are centuries old. It is that many of them still work better than modern products built to replace them. The Amish consistently find real value in ordinary items through simple observation and practical thinking. Sometimes, the best solution survives over generations because it was already the simplest one. You do not need expensive products to run a smooth home. You just need to see the hidden potential in everyday items sitting right in front of you.